Oh god, this is going to be a very bad video to make, but whatever. Hello, my platoon, this is your captain speaking, and welcome to So You Want to Build a Nuke by XRB1A. Let's learn how to build a nuke. It's not actually very hard to do enrich uranium. You can actually find it pretty easy on most of nuclear chemistry books, but yeah, let's see.
So, you want to build a nuke?
Hell yeah!
Okay, well, for that, you'll need some uranium. Uranium is a radioactive element. It has many uses, including curing cancer, generating power, and making people immediately stop fucking existing.
Yeah, you can cure people, or you can... Remember, kids, with uranium, you can make diseases disappear and also people disappear. It's the same thing. But yeah, actually, I used nuclear treatments in some of my oncology patients. It's so cool because you can actually choose what type of radiation you are going to use to cure your patient. Well, most of us use like gamma radiation because it's the most available one, and it's the easiest one to use and the cheapest. Yeah, I know that's strange, but yeah, it's the cheapest. But yeah, it's cool that you can use alpha and beta radiations also, but because they have a different points of infiltration on the skin and the organs, it's much harder. It's better because you can concentrate the radiation beam in one specific spot, not like just the gamma radiation where they just plow through the patient and it destroys everything.
Anyway, once you've mined some uranium, you'll need to enrich it.
Yes.
Why? Because isotopes. If you vary the neutrons in an element, you get different cosplay versions.
There are actually in Brazil. Let me show you. I don't know the name. I don't know the name of this in English, but there are these beaches in Brazil. They have areia monazítica, and they have a lot of heavy minerals, so you can get actually uranium from them. Let me see the name of this. When I was a child, I had a dream to get one of these. Let's see here. Monazite sand. Okay, I couldn't figure out that, but yeah, we have monazite sand beaches, and you can get uranium from there. It's such a cool It's a dark beach. It's a beach that is darker, as you can see in the images. Like, look at this. Look how cool it is. It's darker. It's just dark.
Of that element, and the version we want here is uranium-235.
Yes,
it's good in bonds and shit. So it's off to the centrifuges for some whizzy fun time, and soon you'll have shiny apocalypse cookies before you can say nuclear holocaust. And if you're still serious about building this thing, we'll need to talk about fission and fusion.
Actually, you need to enrich the uranium you can make a compound of iodide uranium, and you just pass through multiple steps to filtrate that uranium, and then you get the really radioactive uranium, the iodized uranium.
Thanks to this smoking hot piece of physicist booty, we
look how hot it is!
Mass into a lot of energy, and one way of doing that is via fission. Fission is when you give big atomic nuclei a bonk and convert them into smaller nuclei, and you get loads of energy from that. It's how nuclear reactors work, and also bombs. Fusion. Yeah,
the problem with fission is because when you destroy one of those uranium isotopes, he's going to just blow out and hit another uranium isotope or other thing, and that is going to cause another fission, and it's going to have another fission and another fission and another fission. It's a chain reaction.
Fission is
That's
the
the
reverse
problem.
of that, basically, where nuclei combine. It's how the sun works, and also bombs. In a fission bomb, the goal is to get the uranium to release neutrons. One can do this via explosives, or claiming to have engaged in sexual intercourse with the uranium's mother. These neutrons will hit the unstable nuclei of the rest of the uranium, and at that point, well, whatever argument it was that led you to detonate this thing, let's just say you won that one. But if you're
Well, I can say it's a nuclear response.
really pissed off, then you'll need a fusion bomb. This is a double whammy. The first stage is fission, then switches to fusion, creating essentially a star on Earth.
Yeah, because the concept of a fission bomb is that you get a bunch of hydrogen atoms circulated by a bunch of fusion bombs, and when the fusion bombs explode, they are going to force the hydrogen to combine and create helium molecules. No, atoms. Helium atoms. And yeah, that's the concept of a fusion bomb.
Anyway, that's your nuke built, so it's off to the races, baby. Well, we'll need somewhere quiet to test it out. How's about somewhere near the Jornado del Muerto desert in New Mexico? Lovely little spot for a picnic. Make sure to bring
Or the Bikini Bottom, like the French did, right?
some jam, those little triangular sandwiches, and a crippling certainty that thanks to you, humankind will forevermore be held hostage by itself. The first ever nuclear
I have become death, the destroyer of wards. Wards. Isn't that right, Oppenheimer?
device is detonated on July 16th, 1945, codename Trinity.
Yeah?
The device explodes with the equivalent power of 22,000 tons of TNT. Later, Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, will say, "I remember the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Just under a month later, the B-29 Enola Gay will drop the fission.
That name. Enola Gay. I know it's that's their real name, but come on. It's such a funny name. A terrible name. A lot of people died, unfortunately, but it's such a... Yeah, we can't have this anymore. The army, in the Air Force, unfortunately. Well,
Little boy.
Oh, I'm
over
just
the
gonna
Japanese
shut up.
city of Hiroshima. It will explode with the power of 15,000 tons of TNT. Above will preside a mushroom cloud 60,000 feet high. Below, 70,000 people are immediately incinerated and mutilated by a shockwave travelling faster than the speed of sound. Thousands of people who are not killed in the initial blast will be exposed to ionizing radiation, suffering the effects for decades to come. Hemorrhaging, cancer, and genetic mutations. 3 days later, a second bomb called Fat Man will be dropped on the seaport of Nagasaki. At least 60,000 people will be killed. Japan will surrender 3 weeks later, and the governments of the world will almost unanimously agree that this must never happen.
You know what's funny? Because the Navy, I believe the Japanese Navy, when they heard about the Hiroshima bomb, they just said, "Oh, cool. Well, if they drop like 6 more, we are going to think this is a threat." And the army was thinking like, "Oh, well, they bombed Tokyo a few weeks back, and 100,000 people died there in Tokyo, and we didn't stop the war because of that. So why should we care about 2 little bombs that killed less than the Tokyo bombing?"
Again, not intentionally, not by accident, not by ignorance. In 1947, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists devised a doomsday clock with midnight representing absolute global catastrophe. Today, the clock stands at 100 seconds to midnight.
Yeah, that's when this video got released. Oh, 3 years ago. Yeah, a bunch of stuff changed from back then.
Bad, but frankly it's hard to see what they're getting their little lab coats in a twist about, eh? World War II was ages ago. The threat of nuclear war is long gone. Other than, well, okay. In 1961, several 4 megaton nukes might have slightly fallen out of a B-52 over North Carolina, one of which narrowly avoided detonating because of a single safety switch. But okay, other than that...
Oh god, imagine the panic! You just blow up a nuke in your own country, and that's not a test. Oh god. I didn't know about
in
that.
1962, a Soviet patrol submarine might have slightly lost contact with the land. The captain, assuming World War III had already started, and was about to fire a 10-kiloton nuke torpedo at a nearby US fleet before the flotilla commander could calm him down. And maybe 1967, when a solar flare took out a few NORAD radars, the US might have slightly freaked out and almost launched a bomber counterstrike against the Soviet Union. Then 1960.
I love this. It's like, oh, one thing goes wrong. Oh my god, they are attacking us. Launch the nukes. But I know you. In this situation, you need to be the first one to fire, because the last one to fire a nuke is going to be the one that is going to be eliminated from the entire Earth.
1969, North Korea shot down a US radar surveillance plane. President Richard Nixon, allegedly drunk, gave the order for a nuclear strike in retaliation. Luckily, Henry Kissinger stepped in, and we're still here. Or just the entire Cold War, basically 40 years of unrelenting nuclear panic. And then you remember the precarious state of mutually assured destruction, which is, well...
Oh, he didn't talk about the Cuban Missile Crisis. If you want me to do a deep dive on the nuke of the Cuban Missile Crisis, leave it in the comments. I have a lot of thoughts on that subject.
When a mummy country and a daddy country hate each other very much, sometimes they get embroiled.
No, Russia is the mother country. Motherland.
And one little deterrent against pushing the button is the knowledge that in the time it takes for your missiles to reach your enemy will have kindly fired theirs back at you.
Yeah.
The idea is that if you're rational, neither of you are going to strike first. Until you remember that humans are not rational, we are, I believe the anthropological term is, fucking morons.
I don't fear the AI, artificial intelligence. I fear the natural stupidity of the human being.
Currently, 9 countries have nukes. That's the US, Russia, France, my homeland of crumpets and self-hate, Pakistan.
Oh, he's British! God damn it! He was going so good. Sorry, guys. No bullying the British on the comments. At least they are not French.
India, Israel, the uppity Korea, and of course China. And that's not to mention several countries probably have hypersonic nuclear missiles now, which can fly upwards of 5 times the speed of sound, rendering missile defense systems about as effective as putting up a little sign that says, "Oh, don't nuke us, mate. You said you wouldn't. What are you doing? You said you wouldn't. Why are you..." Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, do you guys remember the Obelisk? That hypersonic missile, the intercontinental missile that Russia fired at the Ukraine? That was freaking terrifying. It was like beams of light hitting the ground and vaporizing everything. I never felt more fear for my life when I saw that.
Such a dick. Or
Such
rather,
a dick.
If these puppies launch, in the words of the motto of the US Postal Service, neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night shall stay these couriers from swift completion of their appointed rounds. It's 100 seconds to midnight, baby. Nuclear Armageddon ain't gone anywhere. The Cold War ended in '91, but the real war, the silent war, has only just started because we discovered a 23rd century technology in the 20th century, and we're too primitive for this shit right now. And ironically, nukes are so prevalent in entertainment and media that we've almost forgotten this is real. That if we aren't constantly vigilant, apocalypse could happen anytime, and it will be the end of everything, including possibly the only instance of life anywhere in the universe. All just because of some mental general or dickhead dictator. As Einstein allegedly said, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones."
Yeah, I was about to say that, but yeah, guys, building a nuke. I think I explained a little bit too much how to build a nuke. I had a in my high school years. I had to do a project on how to build a nuke, actually, because I was trying to get into the chemistry Olympics of Brazil. So yeah. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you have other videos for me to watch, leave it in the comments or say something to me in one of my many social networks. And bye bye, Captain out.